Okay, so we are starting to design the packing assembly line for the Vero. So what that kind of looks like is, I can pull it up here. So this is kind of final renders. Let me put it over here on the screen. You can kind of see it a little bit better. Maybe, not really. But I had a drawing of what I kind of wanted to plan out. So over here, it'll be unpacked boxes that need to be folded. Folded boxes will then slide over. A Vero care card will then go at the bottom of the box, which would be like a business card, but it'll be kind of care instructions. So that will go on the bottom in a device like this that's printing right now. And then the Vero will go on top. But I designed these, so obviously they're going to be a lot larger. But what it allows you to do is mount it to a wall, and then when it's packing time, it's just slide, place, slide, place. With the weight of a bunch on there, it'll make it really easy. Got this design kind of off like a battery dispenser. So there'll be 3 stations of that. There'll be the Vero care card on the right, Vero in the center, and then envelope on the left. They'll all have that kind of fallout design like that. Then we'll have our Vero sticker, which will close the box. That actually needs to be moved over now that I think about it. So it should be box, care card, Vero, sticker, then envelope, and then packing label. So that'll kind of be the workflow of that. Everything I'm having done is designed and already shipped in Mexico, or shipped to me from Mexico. So that'll make it a little bit more easy to kind of be lenient with. I'm not having to mass produce these myself. I'm paying someone to do it. But this is the design I came up with for packing that I think will be the most fluid. Obviously, there'll probably be some things that change throughout the process. Things may need to be redesigned for these or the card one or the envelope one. The envelope one, I'm kind of debating on how well it's going to work. The envelopes are 4x6, so they're an inch. They're about that wide, which isn't big, and then 6 inches long. So there is a lot of empty space in the package, but I don't really mind that because they're padded envelopes. So one, it allows them to kind of move around a little bit and not just be like stuck in place. I think in packaging world, every time I get something that's stuck in place, most of the time it's damaged. It needs a little bit of room to move around in. So that's why that 4x6 I think is going to be kind of perfect, because it'll give just enough room for it to kind of slide around in there, but it won't just be like completely loose. Like if I got a big box and put it in, like that obviously is going to get more messed up than a padded envelope with a little bit of make or break room. So that's kind of the design for packaging and manufacture design there. Again, a lot of this I'm just doing in Fusion 360. So like you can see here, this is the test model for the care card version. You can see next to it, this was the Vero. That's this one here. I've gone through a few different designs for it. At first I was like, just barely give it edges at the bottom, but then it kind of, gives you room to have one stick. Then I did what I call a border print, which is this with the changes, but just like half of it. So you can either stop it halfway or just make it really small and just, kind of work with it. But as you can see right up there at the top, there was still room. So I didn't want it, getting caught like this or something. So then we had this one. But this one, this front border kind of blocks it. So it's like if I just tilt it like this, it doesn't come out. So I kind of had to like push up and slide out, which I don't mind. But when there's 500 units in a case of these, then it's going to be very difficult versus just like sliding. Sliding is going to give you a lot more movability with it and make it a lot more quick. I think, who knows, I could be totally wrong. When I get to setting everything up, I could go, oh, shit, I need to redesign this and go back to this one, which is why I kind of keep these, because it allows me the freedom to go back and measure this and go, oh, okay, well, I came up an extra 2 millimeters, just bring it down and we'll, reprint that bottom piece. Because what I'm likely gonna do is just do a bottom piece and then a long top piece and then maybe another one. But that way it slides better, and if I need to change just the bottom, I can change just the bottom, which is like perfect. And then with the tube ones, there'll probably be a little channel up the middle that just barely allows you to see like, oh, okay, I'm getting halfway through this stack. I'll probably have 3 or 4 of these lined up to where, oh, if the one on the far right runs out, if I'm out on this one, someone can refill that while I go over here to the next one and start pulling. But yeah, so that's kind of the blueprint for the design, I guess you could say. Let me show you a little bit more of like a detailed blueprint here. So the table's going to be 10 feet long. This table here is 8 feet, but I figured having an extra 2 feet probably wouldn't hurt. So it'll be 10 feet wide. Box is far right, Vero card, Vero unit, Vero sticker, envelope, shipping label, and then a tote or box at the end. That way at the end we can just put them in a box, we can take them to my truck, dump them in the truck, bring the box back and go. So yeah, my 3D printer sounds like it's having a little bit of difficulty, so I'm gonna cut this short, and then you'll possibly see when I start building this soon. So give me any tips or ideas you guys may think, what I should change, or like, hey, this could be an issue here. I mean, I'm very hands-on, so like that's why I print these tiny ones, or like these, the little borders, to really see how is it going to work physically. So your suggestion may not be taken into consideration, because I may just not be able to wrap my head around it. If I have an idea in my head that I need to produce, I can do that. But trying to read someone else's idea and like come up with how I'm supposed to make that work seems to be a lot more difficult for me. But feel free to leave them in the comments. But yeah, I'm hoping to kind of post a little bit more here on what I'm doing business-wise, to maybe help inspire someone to start something of their own. CAD is, in my opinion, a very simple software to kind of start to understand and learn. Yeah, and then using ChatGPT to make blueprints, fucking use it. Use it before you try. You can draw something out, obviously, as like a rough blueprint. That way, when you're typing a prompt into chat, you can kind of stay focused on like, yo, this is what needs to be here, this is what needs to be here, this is what needs to be here, and then just say, give me a rough blueprint, and like it'll give you something more along the lines of like this. So I gave it the table dimensions first. I said, hey, here's the table dimensions. Draw it out. I said, put a pegboard on it, and put it wrong. So I was like, no, it's going to be on top. So front side view, the pegboard will be here. Obviously, I'll have a little bit more with like a shelf and lighting. And then I started to kind of have it pull a blueprint for me. Hey, this is what needs to be on here. This is how it's going to be laid out. And then, hey, here's an angle picture of how I kind of want to see it. That way, boom, I can get that. The bin, it didn't understand, like, it made a really tiny bin over here that's maybe like just barely the size of the packages. And I'm like, okay, there's possibly going to be 2,000 packages leaving. Like, I need this to be a lot bigger, and it still didn't get it. Where did it go? This is just me, like, fucking around with it, trying to get it to understand what I had in my head. And then here I was like, put a bigger bin, and put the bin under the table, like the legs are in the bin. So obviously I was like, fuck it, just take the bin out. Then I said, add an overhead light, played around with that, moved around a couple things to where I really started to like it, and then said, hey, here's the color scheme that I'm going for. Can you make something like a physical render of what it looks like? Actually, I'll bring you a little bit closer so you guys can kind of see here. So, like, again, this is a startup company, so I ain't got, like, fuck you funds to play around with. So this is what I'm going to be packing with in my garage. It's going to be hot as shit because it's Arizona. So when you buy your Vero, know it was packed by me probably sweating my ass off working to get you your product. So these are some more designs, and then finally, after plenty of like going through it, we finally got it to where it's boxes, Vero care card, Vero units. It messed the dimensions up on that, but oh well. Vero envelope. Again, I still need to move that sticker over. And then I started to kind of have it give me a rough estimate of like a design for a care card. Like, hey, this is how you wash your towel. Things like that, because people are likely going to destroy the towel if they don't do it correctly. So that's where we're at with that. But I think that this really makes me happy. Oh, I just realized all these logos are wrong too. That's not our logo. But yeah, I love this design because it's clean, it's minimal, it's stationed to where it's not just like a shit show of boxes and units and stickers and this and that and the other thing. It's like, no, I like my shit clean. Like, you can see by my desk, like, my shit's very organized. I need it to be organized, because if it's not, my ADHD, OCD, whatever the fuck it is, goes crazy. And it's like, what's wrong? Fix it. Do this, do that. So it's like, I like to have these blueprints, because that way when I order all this shit, I know where it goes. And I know the kind of workflow I'm trying to be in. I'll probably have my girlfriend and my mom come down and, help me move shit and pack shit. But it's like, this is a system where even if I'm doing it alone at 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, it's like, it's something that I can simply pull a chair up, lower the table, pack, bin. Pack, bin. It's like, I like it to be smooth and as little headache as I can. And what this will also allow me to do is time things. So that way when I get to the point of fulfillment, I can make sure that they're packing it in a timely manner, that they're not charging me extra for, oh, well, it took us, 45 seconds to fully pack one. And I'm like, hey, I've done this alone for the past, however many months, and I did it in 30 seconds. So what is taking you 45 seconds, and how can we fix that, and how can we make this smoother and better and fix itself? Like, these are things that, as going into business, you need to start to understand, because you can get screwed over in a lot of ways. But you have to be willing to put the work in yourself and go, okay, how can I make this faster for myself? It's like, if I were to do, it's like if I had all these just stacked, on a table, okay, like, and I knock one, boom, a whole stack's down. Now I'm wasting time trying to set shit back up, versus being able to just slide them in and go, okay, cool, next, boom, next, refill, boom, fill them in, grab it and go. It's like, it's small little things like that you need to figure out. But yeah, my 3D printer's done. I'm gonna grab the card one, and we'll see on camera if that shit actually works or not. Okay, so here's one. Let me break this off. For those of you that don't know, this is a support used for when you have a floating object and you're trying to 3D print it. God damn, this one turned out horrible. Let me grab a scraper tool. So, scraper tool, clean all that up, clean that up, and clean that up. Okay. Grab a little stack of cards. This is going to be the size of the care card, so that's why I'm using my personal business cards for this to see. Oh shit, yeah, we're. So, as you can see, they don't even fit in here, both width and directionally wise. So, we are going to pull up the CAD. We are going to go from the top down. This whole side here on the right, we're going to go extrude, pull that. We'll just pull it 5, just to be conservative with it. Actually, I'm going to move this whole thing over. And then we'll go forward with it too. Oh, fuck. Enter. Oh, fuck, I put it way down here. Okay, and then we'll grab this side here. 5. And then around here to the back. Extrude. Oh, what the fuck just happened there? Extrude. Okay, how far is that? 3, 4, 5. Enter. Grab this, extrude, make that flush. Over here, pinch this, extrude. Move that up to be flush. Okay, so now we're looking a little bit wider with it, which is fine. It's probably gonna need about that much room extra. So then we're gonna draw on this. We're gonna go here, go up 2 and 2, down to 2 and 2. Perfect. Enter, extrude. Pull this down. Not that far. To the front. Oh. 6. Oh, need to. Oh. Okay, so that's a little bit bigger. We'll go File, 3D Print, pull this. Care version 2.0. Save. And we're gonna go here. Now we're over here on Creality Print. We're gonna go here, delete all, back this up. File, import, Vero. I put Vero car. Slice plate. How long is that one gonna take? 52 minutes. Actually, no, we're gonna 16.8. Then ow! We grab our little SD card reader. I just destroyed my knee on my desk. Okay. Slice plate. Export G code. Pull that. Close this. Eject. And then we're gonna pull you over here. On my trusty ender. Pop that in. Print for media. Vero Car 2. So we'll let that print, and then if it works, I'll give you an update. If it doesn't, then oh well. I'll keep playing around with it. But yeah, so hopefully you guys can kind of get the idea with the desk and sliding these out to where it moves like butter, you know, or not butter, water. It moves fluently, in other words. Like, that's the key with trying to find shit out like this, that it's like you kind of need things to work as fluid as you can. Otherwise, in my opinion, it's like you're wasting time, you're wasting effort, you're wasting this, you're wasting that, you're wasting materials. You know, it's like this shit here, like, how much does this cost me? This card one that I'm printing right now is 23 cents. You know, like, this is maybe 40 cents. So it's like being able to improve manufacturing level for probably $15, $20 in material. I'll take that any day of the week. You know, it's like I want things to be smooth. I don't want things to be clunky. And if I have someone working with me, like my partner, then it's like it's a clunky mess, because it's like, well, he doesn't know which stage of the process I'm in. I don't know what stage of the process he's in. So it's like having things lined up in a way where it's like you can't fuck this up unless you're like not physically there. Having things like that where it's just a pace is the best way to do everything, whether it's homework, whether it's school, whether it's design. Like, I wish I would have known this in high school, because I was horrible in high school. But if I would have figured out something like this, I probably would have been pretty damn good at it. But I just didn't care. Now that I'm like running my own shit, it's like it needs to be perfect. You know, if it takes me an extra day of designing for things to be literally perfect and move at a pace that outperforms almost bigger manufacturer or businesses that are ahead of me, and I can ship out more product on the daily, then that changes the level that my company is able to grow to. Like, yes, I could take 4 minutes to pack a box, or I could have it set up in a way where like it's impossible, not impossible, but it's like it's difficult for me to make it a minute long packaging process, because that's what you need, is everything to just move so smoothly. My manufacturer in Mexico, like, I like working with them because they are very quick to do things. If I say, hey, this needs a design change, they'll send me that design change that same day. You know, some of the manufacturers I was dealing with, it would take 4 or 5 days to get a design change. And it was like, yo, like, let's fix this. Like, I love working with the manufacturer in Mexico too, because they would send me an STL file and say, yo, print it. Like, that's how I have these, which are like the pretty much final design for Vero, is from Mexico, going, hey, here's an STL file, feel free to print it, tell us what you think. I love that, because they understand, like, hey, I'm a hands-on person. I saw these rounded, like heavily rounded corners on CAD design via phone call, and I was like, I don't know if I like that. Because it took it away from the boxy design that I was going for, and I didn't like it. To be 100% honest with you, the first time I saw it, I was like, I hate that. So I requested an STL file. I said, hey, can you send me an STL file so I can print this and tell you whether I like these corners or if I don't like these corners. Then they sent it to me. I played around with it. I held it, and I actually liked it a little bit more. I was like, oh, it's actually a little bit more comfortable to hold. It makes it to where the towel can't, be rubbing on something over time that possibly cuts through the towel. Eventually people are going to need a replacement towel. That's why I will have replacement towels available. I don't want you to have to go buy a whole new unit. This is a very customer focused company, which is how, as maybe if you've seen the videos on my channel, I was very heavily that way in sales. I'm going to give my customer a white glove treatment. Not always, of course, because some people you give that power to and they abuse it. But with a product that I am going to be selling worldwide in mass production, it needs to be perfect. It's like, I'm not here to waste my time or waste the CAD designer's time or waste time getting on a phone call with the manufacturer for me to go, hey, I don't like it. It's like, hey, just send me the file if you're going to make a change. That way I can really understand it and get a grasp of my head around it. And that has been so rewarding for both me and the manufacturer. They're like, we love working with you. You're so easy. That having that attitude with business is so important, I think, because every now and then you got to put your foot down and say, hey, this is wrong. I don't like this. We got to change this. But being able to do that without having to get on a flight or get on a call, just say, hey, send me an STL file so I can print it here. I can play around with it. That has been such a game changer for this process of manufacturing. So anyone looking to get into manufacturing, I would suggest getting some type of 3D printer. If it's a cheap, $200-300 Ender, Bamboo Labs has some crazy value for the price. I'm probably gonna order one soon. And then I'm also probably gonna get a resin printer too, because with these, my prototypes are gonna be in resin. And it would have been a lot easier to go, hey, send me the parts, I'll print one, and I'll see it, I'll test it, I'll work with it, I'll play around with it, versus having to pay for the prototypes, having to pay for the material, having to pay for all the cost of the physical parts that go into it. A lot of that I could have bought myself and not had a VAT or tax or tariff included on that, plus shipping from Mexico, plus customs fees. Like, I could have saved myself a lot of money if I just had to say the least, I could have bought 2 resin printers for the cost of my 10 prototypes. I could have bought 2. So I could have bought one and like 40 bottles of material, but instead I paid for them to do it, which I then found out was not a mistake, but a time cost thing, because I want to get this thing to market as soon as I can. It's summer right now. Everyone's wearing their sunglasses, and I don't have a product on the market, which is like, that has been the most difficult thing, because it's like I was hoping to be rolling out production like around this time, July, August. That's when I was hoping to be rolling out production, taking pre-orders, getting people their products. And it's business. There's delays with everything. So it's like, that has been another learning curve of like, yo, it ain't always perfect, right? It's gonna cost twice as much and it's gonna take twice as much time. I learned that in real estate, and I have to put that into play now. But it's been a fun journey. I'm hoping some of you guys maybe get inspired by this and kind of start to go do your own product. Feel free to ask me any questions, how I got patent pending, how much did it cost to get patent pending, how much the whole patent pending process is supposed to cost, what not to do with patents, what to do with patents. A lot of that stuff I've learned, and it's been insanely valuable because it's kept me from losing money or making my buddy who's an investor in this company go, hey, we need to spend $800 on a patent search, something they're already going to do in the process of getting you patent pending. So if your lawyer comes to you and says, hey, we're going to do a patent search, say, no, I don't want to do a patent search. Just move forward with the process. If something comes up, it's going to come up regardless, right? It's not like you're going to go through the whole process and then deal with the consequences later, if that makes sense. It's more of, hey, I'm starting now. I don't have money to be wasting $800, right? So include that in my patent process because it's included. The first thing you do when you go to file a patent is write everything out, and then once you go file it, they have to do a search. So it's like, why would I pay for a search before that? If it's gonna happen regardless, what's the point of me doing that? So yeah, stay hungry, get on the grind, build something for yourself, stop working the 9 to 5, get into sales if you want something to kind of build that hunger of chasing something that you do daily. That has been a massive impact on me. I'm 23 now. I spent the last 5 years in sales, and now we are bringing something to market. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been 8 or 9 months that I've been working on this. Lots of tweaks, lots of design changes from the first prototype that I have, which next video I'll probably show you guys what has all gone into this. That way it's a little bit more of a further understanding of, hey, is this something I really want to do? Is this something that I could do without? Shit like that. Yeah, we'll talk again soon. There'll probably be another car video up before I do another one of these kind of desk sit down videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, this is just for me in the future to look back on and go, God damn, I did it. But yeah, I'm so excited with the journey that we're on and the path that this company is going. It's gonna be massive. There's no way it's not. I mean, my glasses are dirty right now. There's shit on them. So it's having something that's pocketable, refillable, does the job exactly how it should be done, not with the crappy, glasses tongs or the crappy pre-moistened towels that are half the time dry when you open them. It's something that I'm so surprised someone hasn't done, but I'm here to do it. I'm here to bring it to market. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.